Hello, hello. Welcome to Serene Journey's birth video on natural ways that you can induce labor, right? So I made a previous video on medical inductions, and here is the follow-up on natural ways to induce. So your first one is exercise. When I went into labor, of course, I went to a hospital. My cervix was not dilating. They sent me home. My grandmother said, "Girl, let's walk this baby out." Plenty of us may have heard of that already. And if not, here you have it, right? So if contractions have started, but you're not like in active labor or labor slowing down, walking can definitely help get things started, right? And progressing. All throughout pregnancy, it's suggested that you work out 30 minutes per day because what happens is that builds your stamina up, and labor is very intensive, and you're going to need that stamina to keep going, right? Sex. They say how you got baby in is how you get baby out, right? So prostaglandin is a hormone that thins the cervix. It is contained in sperm, and of course, when a male ejaculates, excuse my voice, when a male ejaculates, it is released and it irritates the cervix. If you are 20 weeks pregnant and you're watching this video, no worries. This is not going to cause you to go into labor. Your body has to already be ready and preparing for labor, right? We don't know which day you're going to go in labor. It could be tomorrow. And if you have sex tonight, it is just going to speed up the process, right? So only when your body is ready. Also, the female orgasm releases oxytocin, and oxytocin is the main hormone responsible for the uterus to contract, right? In addition, this is why when you breastfeed, your uterus goes back to its original size more quickly because you are breastfeeding, and that's making the uterus contract and get smaller and smaller. Number 3, nipple stimulation. So you can roll your fingers between, you can roll your nipples between the fingers, right? Just like that. You can also, if you have a breast pump, you can put the breast pump on your nipples, or you can ask your partner to help you with this. All those ways would do. This is actually another oxytocin releaser, and it can be done throughout the day. So same concept as I just said with breastfeeding. The nipple causes oxytocin to be released, which causes the uterus to contract and get smaller. So when baby is in, the contractions get baby out, and once baby is out, the contractions makes the uterus go back to its original size. Red raspberry leaf tea. Midwives often recommend drinking this as your due date approaches. It tones and tightens the uterus, right? It gives it that stamina that you need to really get those pressure waves, those contractions to be strong. It's very good for your menstrual cycles as well. So it's something that you can have before and before pregnancy and at the end. And many over-the-counter teas like pregnancy tea, there's something called third trimester tea. This is the main ingredient in it. Red raspberry leaf. Evening primrose oil. So this is a great hormone regulator in late pregnancy. It helps the cervix dilate, and some midwives actually have a bottle, and when the baby is being born, they can pour it directly on mom on the perineum to like massage it and help. So it helps in different ways, but definitely helps with hormonal regulation. And birth is all about hormones. Acupressure or acupuncture, right? They both should be done by a qualified professional. This acupuncture is when you take those very thin needles and you put them in different pressure points, right? And acupuncture is the same concept, but you can use other objects, right? So instead of a needle, you would use your finger or different objects, right? So labor pressure point, one is right here, You will hold that for 30 seconds, release. Or you can hold it for up to a minute, give yourself a break. And then you also have 4-finger whiffs above the ankle on the inside of the leg, just like the image here. Those are two well-known points. Now, castor oil is a very, 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 very last resort suggestion. This is something that has been used for centuries and it is very disgusting. Castor oil is a laxative, right? It is going to cause the intestines to be irritated and to be stimulated. Now, these intestinal contractions, right, causes the uterus to contract. You have to look at how our bodies are designed. They're like it envelopes one another, right? Uterus, intestines. So the heavy contraction of the intestines will stimulate the uterus to contract. If you are going to go this route, start very, very, very small amount. Once again, this is a laxative. So the last thing you want is to be overly irritated and uncomfortable, right? It can become very, very uncomfortable. And then sometimes it becomes so uncomfortable, but labor still doesn't start. So this is a very last suggestion. And there are also some recipes online where they're called midwives brews, right? So you can mix it with different things for it to taste a little better. And my favorite is number 8, which is just to relax, right? Safety is a major component of birth. Oxytocin, right, is being released when you feel comforted and safe and loved, which is why many women go into labor at night, right? Because you're not worrying your sleep. You're just being, right? So oftentimes we have to trust our bodies and just allow the body to unfold like a flower. So massages, hot baths, anything that brings safely brings you extreme relaxation. And hot baths are actually another great one because baby just can feel the temperature and they're like, I don't really like all this warmth. So that is definitely one. My head is covering, right? So I have a more detailed blog, right? Every time I make a video, make a blog for the most part, shall I say. But you can definitely check it out on my website. If you know anyone who needs this information, definitely share it with them. Thank you for watching. Peace.